All right, so in my line of work, I usually like to showcase tech that falls under a nice ordered list where it will be like, you know, 5 punishes that everyone should know. But over time, I have slowly assembled a backlog of things that I figured were like too character specific or like too niche, things that didn't make the cut for previous videos. So today I'm gonna do a segment that we're gonna call leftover SF6 tech that I think is pretty cool but couldn't put in any other video. I know, it rolls right off the tongue. We're literally scraping the bottom of the barrel today. Before we get started, could you guys hit that subscribe button? Thanks. So, I'll kind of show you the tech, and I think I'll also probably explain like why I shelved it originally. But I do think some of the stuff here is going to be useful depending on like which characters you play. So, Kimberly's been buffed pretty heavily recently, where now if she does something like this, stand fierce into run, this is now an actual frame trap on block. Yeah, so now if I try and interrupt this with like a 4 frame, I get counter hit. So a lot of Kimberly players are now just spamming the shit out of like heavy punch into run and also stand medium punch as well. This one's also legit now. So I was playing around with some ways to like punish this, and I came across this where if you DI here, you do get the DI if they do no follow-up and it hits like super high up like this. And you can do some fun combos off this, like this with Aki. But the problem with this tech, so if they do the dive kick, and you DI here, this happens. So the dive kick does whiff, and you are actually left +5 here. But the problem is that you can't do anything with this situation. So like, even though I'm actually +5 here, I don't have anything that can like actually threaten, because this is a long ass way away for a +5 situation. So I kind of like shelved this tech, but some people who are much smarter than me pointed out that actually this tech is really good if you are specifically playing a character with a very privileged 5 frame move. So this is why this got shelved, because it was too character specific. But let's show some examples. So Ken is a privileged character, and Ken has this normal right here. This is Ken's stand like it. If you do the DI here and they try and avoid it with the dive kick, Ken does get punish privilege on this. Which is really cool, because this covers every single option, by the way. I just need to point this out. So if they do no follow-up like that, the DI will just hit them in the air, and you get a full combo out of this. Into whatever. I'm sure you can do some fun stuff with Ken there. If they do the run into the dive kick, you get the thing I just showed you. And if they do run into command grab, the command grab whiffs and Ken is left +19. So you still get like a max damage punish here. I don't know what the max damage is, but like you can do like crouch fierce and stuff. So if you have a 5 frame and you are absolutely sure your opponent is going to do the run frame trap, that is really useful tech. But unfortunately, like I said, this is kind of privileged because not many characters have a good 5 frame here. So Ken is one, Ed's crouch light kick is another. One that I think is worth mentioning is that actually grappler SPDs can reach from this distance, surprisingly. So, with Lily this time, you might not think it, but this is actually in range to punish with SPD. That is a punish counter. So, it doesn't have to just be like long-range 5 frame lights, it can actually be long-range 5 frame specials like SPDs too. I think light SPD works too. Yeah, even light works. You don't have to spend any bar. So that's useful, but only for maybe about 5 or 6 characters that can actually like take advantage of that +5 situation. The rest can't reach from there. Yeah, obviously the DI is a hard read. I'm not saying you should just mindlessly mash DI on every single string, because obviously Kimberly can just do this. You know, so I'm not saying DI is 100% covers every option if she does run stop. But I am saying that if she tries to go for that new frame trap into like running up you, she runs up your body, that one is hard countered by some characters doing DI. We're going to move on to number 2. This is also some anti-Kimberly tech. And for a similar situation, but slightly different results. We're going to do the same basic setup again in the corner this time. We're going to have Kimberly do stand fierce into run as her pressure string. But what I'm going to do this time is, rather than preemptively DIing, I'm actually going to drive reversal the second hit. So you see, if we drive reversal the second like kick as she's running up you, this knocks you away. But if she does the other follow-ups, that happens. But, again, after more testing, it turns out this is actually worth using for a few characters. And I'm going to use Honda as the example here. So this one comes down to whether or not your drive reversal, like how far it moves forward, and also how tall your hurt box is. So this one's character specific. So, for example, Honda can take advantage of this here. So you see, if Honda does drive reversal here, rather than getting booted in the face on the dive kick, he actually whiffs underneath it. And if this happens, Honda gets left +9 with corner advantage. So you can actually force the dive kick to whiff if they do this follow-up, and then go for like I don't know what Honda's best 9 frame is. So Honda is one of the few characters who can take advantage of this. So again, let me just show you the final option. So if they try and command grab, that also whiffs into the corner. So Honda can drive reversal the second hit of the run here. And again, it covers a lot of options. Command grab, whiffs. Dive kick, whiffs. And you get punishes on both of those. And if they do no follow-up, you don't get a punish on this one. But at the very least, you just knock them away. So there's 3 outcomes. 2 of them are punishes. And 1 of them is just back to neutral. So that's pretty good. I think Aki can also do this one. This is part of the reason why I labbed this one. Into whatever. Pretty nice, pretty useful. But again, I shelved that one because I didn't want to have to spend the entire video talking about how like this only works for very specific drive reversal hitboxes, and that's definitely not universal. So that's number 2. Number 3, let's move on. We're not going to be bullying Kimberly anymore. Before people yell at me for making too much anti-Kimberly tech, we're going to move to everyone's favorite character, Ken Masters. Alright, so this is a recent change that I feel like people are not adapting to. So in the recent balance patch, they nerfed the Oki on Ken's level 1. Right? So if a Ken player wakes up with level 1 while cornered, a lot of the time they do this, right? This is like a standard Ken sequence. They'll wake up level 1 to get out of the corner, and then they'll try and lock you down with a fireball like this. And you're basically back to neutral if you cancel it out with your own fireball. Now, here's the thing. This used to be pretty good last season, but this is now fake as fuck this season. And, like, a lot of characters should be punishing this. Because, if you don't know, because of the nerf to his level 1 Oki, after the fireball here, Ken is, like, -40. He is stuck in recovery for a very long time. So a lot of characters can punish this. Some with drive rush, some with supers. So like, there we go. So like Dowsum can do wake up, drive rush, slide from full screen, and that is an actual punish on the fireball. Any character with like a anti-projectile super, this is also a free punish. So like if you're a Honda player, you need to be ready for like level 2 here, because this is guaranteed on reaction. A lot of Ken players are still treating this like it's the last balance patch and just chucking a fireball pretty much every time after level 1 to like buy themselves a bit of time and a bit of space. So even slow options like Aki's cower crouch dive on wake up is actually a punish here, even though this thing has like, I don't know, 30 plus frames of startup. That is a punish counter. It didn't used to be. I want to be clear, don't autopilot this. Don't just like brainlessly assume Ken is always going to throw a fireball here. But a lot of Kens that I played are still throwing fireball after level 1, even though it's been nerfed. So keep your eyes out for that wake up punish, because it's pretty rewarding if you can get it. Okay, this next one is a bit of tech that is so obscure and so stupid that I shelved it purely because I don't think it will ever happen in a real match. So I'm gonna show you guys something. So if you're a Chun-Li player, you might know about this, but this is an interaction that I've had happen like once or twice in this game ever. But a situation like this, if I set Chun-Li to wake up with her level 1 and I jump over it like this. So this has happened to me a few times, right? You're behind Chun-Li and she's doing level 1. Now in this situation, if you try and hit Chun-Li, this can happen. Sometimes you can actually punch into the hitbox from behind. Sometimes you can actually get hit clean. I've had this happen too, where like something like this happens. You see that? Like I actually get hit from behind. So like, I think Chun-Li players are probably aware of this. Maybe a couple of others, but I don't think it's very well known. And the reason that I'm talking about this is because you can actually intentionally trade with this in some situations to upgrade your combo. Let yourself actually get hit from behind by the level 1. So like for Ryu, for example, if I do this into back heavy punch, this trades and it leaves you plus 12 after the trade, which is enough to get stand heavy kick afterwards. So you can do fun stuff like this into whatever, which looks pretty cool. And the reason that I shelved this is because after I spent all this time labbing some fun combos for like intentionally trading with Chun's level 1, I realized that actually they're still worse than just doing a corner combo. Like that's the issue here. So if I just do like Ryu's normal BNB here, so this is just the regular punish combo that you would do in this situation without any of this like trade nonsense. This does 6,664 damage, and the trade combo, which is very silly, but looks very cool. Unfortunately, this does, even with the fun trade at the start, 6,398. So I threw this in the trash as useless tech outside of like combo videos because actually taking the trade is worse than just doing the corner combo. Except there is one very, very specific set of circumstances that need to line up where actually the trade is optimal. So watch what happens here. I'm going to change my own health. If I set my health to this point, by going for the trade combo, it puts me into CA range, exactly. And that is enough to upgrade the combo so that it does more than the corner combo. So in that one microscopically unlikely set of circumstances, taking the trade combo here will put me in yellow health. And that's actually better overall than doing the corner combo. It's very stupid though. So like I said, don't expect to ever see this in a match. So by punching into the back of Chun's super, we put ourselves in yellow health, and that does 6,673 damage, which is more than the corner combo. It is technically optimal, but not gonna happen. Okay, let's end with one more optimization that's also super niche, similar to the previous one, but I actually think this next one has potential in the long term. So I'm actually gonna set up a puzzle for you guys. This one's going to be a challenge for chat, and if you're watching the YouTube video, try and play along with me here. I'm going to set up a specific set of circumstances here. Okay, so here's the puzzle. It is round 1. I have the corner against Rashid. Rashid has 25% health, and I get a knockdown like this. Rashid wakes up with level 1. My question is this. What is the optimal punish in this scenario? Try it at home, try it in chat. Puddle into combo, puddle starter. See, that's okay. You guys are making mistake number 1. Like, that is massively overkill. I pointed out my opponent has 25% health, so there is absolutely no reason to go for like a mega stylish combo because my opponent will die almost instantly. The reason you shouldn't do that is that it's completely overkill. Rashid died long before the combo would normally end, and if you notice, by doing that, I build almost no super. Let's set me all the way down to 0 just to prove this point. So by doing the actual like basic punish combo route, you can see in the bottom left, I built, I don't know, 10% of a bar going into the next round. Okay, that's some better suggestions I'm seeing now. So some people are saying either regular throw or command grab. And that's probably the most likely answer that you will see in a match, because punish counter throws in this game build a shitload of super. So as you can see there, by punishing this with a grab, I got like 30% of a bar going into the next round. So that is definitely more optimal. You get the kill either way, but I built significantly more meter. So that's probably what I would do right now. But actually, what if I told you we can do much better than that? Here's the actual optimal thing to do in this scenario. That. Perfect parry. And you might be thinking, why the fuck would I perfect parry a wake up super? Is that not going to just destroy the combo scaling? And the answer is yes. That's exactly what we want to do. So by perfect parrying here, we scale the combo so hard that we can now do a long ass combo, which if it kills, can actually build significantly more bar for us than a punish counter throw. So let me show you what that looks like. Bearing in mind, punish counter throw built about, I think I said about 30%. There we go. Wow, first try. Thank you, chat, for believing in me. And you'll notice, by doing that, if you guys saw before it reset, I got like 80% of a bar, which is nearly twice as much as a punish counter throw. So actually, yeah, it's very weird, but there are situations where the optimal play is to kill your own combo scaling in order to build more bar before the KO happens. Before you say, isn't this super risky though, because perfect parry is hard to do? Not really, actually, because if this happens in a match and you attempt the perfect parry and fuck it up, you'll just get a regular parry. So it's kind of worth going for, because like if you get the regular parry, you can still just do this, take the KO either way, and you still get a good amount of bar. So it's actually not super risky to go for. The real risk here, I would say the only like downside is if something like this happens. Like this is where the concerning things happen. Something like this. So you try and scale the combo so hard that you actually end up not doing enough damage to kill because your hits are doing like so little damage. So you do not want to be in that situation. You do not want to go for the intentionally scaled combo and then underestimate it. That's where things get a bit scary. So I think this is definitely worth going for. Like I might try and integrate this into my game plan, but you have to be very careful because if you lowball the combo damage estimation, then you might end up burning yourself out and leaving the opponent with a sliver of health. So anyway, there's my bits of assorted tech that got cut from other videos for today for being too niche or too character specific. I hope someone out there manages to integrate at least one of these, and I will see you guys all in the next video.